Hello viewers, welcome again to another interesting episode of the Open Pulpit. Today we are doing something new, something different. For the first time, we have what we have the personality profile. It gives me great joy to bring to us this wonderful couple. They be the one that will introduce themselves, and I can say a few things about them. After the introduction, please join us as we go into this interactive session with Promise and his wife, Lihle. Sir, you're welcome.
Thank you, sir.
Madam,
Yes,
you're
sir.
welcome.
Thank
First of all, let me tell you, I'm so glad to be your friend. It's a privilege
Thank you,
to work
Oh.
with your ministry.
Thank you, sir.
And you're the very first couple to show up here on this personality profile.
Wow.
So, Promise, why don't you introduce yourself and let people know you? And Lihle, will introduce herself also.
Okay. My name is Promise Adeyemi. I'm the senior pastor of the Kingdom Arena. I'm Nigerian by birth, South African by marriage, American by choice, the Kingdom citizen by covenant.
Amen.
Amen. That was good. Well, my name is Lihle Adeyemi, also known as Lihle. I am also a co-pastor at the Kingdom Arena with my husband, Promise Adeyemi. We are blessed with 2 kids, a boy and a girl,
Wow.
Charisma and Well. Beautiful kids, and we thank God that we are together married for 18 years now. So
Yes.
18
we thank
years.
God, yeah.
Wow. 18 years.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
Instead, I met your 2 kids, wonderful children.
Thank you,
Wow.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
I so love them. I mean, are you going to have more?
Oh, no.
No.
It's a wrap. No.
Our last born is 9, so it's turning 9 next
It
month.
doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. There's anointing in this ministry.
Daddy, please don't use that anointing. Let's retain the anointing on somebody else.
Amen. So, Promise, how did
Yes,
you
sir.
meet Lihle?
I met her in South Africa.
Mm.
I went to South Africa to study and, of course, to do ministry.
Wow.
And so I met her in a church.
Yeah.
Yeah. A friend of ours, invited her to come and minister at the church. So she came through for the first time, and I happened to be the person that welcomed those people showing up for the first time.
Wow.
And she was one of the people. So at that time, I didn't even know that she could sing, So I welcomed her and started, doing my stuff.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Like investigate before investing.
All right. And just stop it there. So now, Lihle, what did he say to you that got us to this level we are?
Well, first of all, let me just backtrack a little bit. I was in McDonald's sitting down waiting for somebody. And this pastor who was pastoring with him, the co-pastor, tried to invite me to their church. And I was kind of like having an attitude because I was like, why is this guy like talking to, because he was like, hey, how are you? And I started feeling like, is he trying to hit on me or something? I was like, yeah, I'm good. Oh, how are you? Who are you? I'm like, well, I'm a child of God. I'm spirit filled. I'm this, I'm that. So,
Who said that?
I just want
She's the one saying all that
to his friend, when I was sitting in McDonald's and he's trying to talk to me, make a conversation with me. And then he eventually said, okay, I just wanted to invite you in church. I said, okay, I'll see about it. I didn't go for like 2-3 weeks. Then after just one of the Sundays, I just said, let me go check it out and see that church. So that's how
And you met him.
I met him. Then, of course, they had an event that was going to come up at the church. And I told them, well, I can be part of the event. I sing. They was like, oh, you sing?
Oh.
Would you please just come and bless us with one song? Then I said, okay, cool. Then I came to that event, I sang, and then that's when the connection started happening. Oh my God, you sing so good. Can you please come and just help our choir once in a while?
Wait a minute. You said the connection started.
Yeah.
Connection means two-way. So it means you two saw him.
Oh, yeah.
Well,
I mean, seeing him,
the connection wasn't a romantic connection. It was just
At first.
At
first,
first, it was just a connection of just loving music and loving being in the ministry,
yes,
and stuff like that. That's when the connection started. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
He is originally from Nigeria, right?
Yes, sir. I'm Yoruba.
Yoruba.
Yes, sir.
And she's from
South
from
Africa.
South Africa.
She's
I'm
a Zulu
Zulu.
woman. The warriors. The Zulu warriors.
Is this part of the warring thing?
Oh, yeah, well, yeah. It's modernized now. It's just the beads. Yes. These are African beads, yeah.
Amen. So tell me, when we talk about cross-cultural marriage, how does it pan out with you guys? What are the strengths? Are there weaknesses? Are there challenges? Briefly, let's just hear your experience.
Yes, I mean, I'll say at the beginning it was very rough. It was very rough. It's like, if I'm giving an example now. If your wife say to you, you're silly, and where I'm coming from, like you don't say that to your husband. You don't look at your husband and say you're silly. No, that's disrespectful. And but for her it might just be a word, just I'm using as an example,
That's
so stuff like that. Yeah, description. And I'm like, no, don't do that. Don't do that with me. Don't call me fool. That kind of stuff. Yeah, it was a lot at the beginning. But now, the synergy is very powerful.
I see it.
We've gone through a lot, but we're still standing.
Amen.
Yeah, so even times of food,
Yeah.
yeah, food, thank
Totally
God I'm not a foodie, If I am a foodie, we're going to have a serious problem. So God decided to give to her a man who don't like food that much. Because if I was a typical Nigerian man, by now, I'm sure maybe we'll be divorced.
Because of food?
Yes. A lot of people
I think
divorce
you and I, we
because
have
of
that in common. I'm not a foodie person too. I mean, yeah. But what are your own challenges?
Yeah, I think just the cultural differences, the way we were brought up differently. There are some things that we kind of like butt heads about because in where I come from, we did things a certain way, and in Nigeria, things were done a certain way. So I was expecting, things to continue the way they were, like what I saw my mom and dad doing, and I discovered that, it doesn't work like that. So we had to finally come to a point where we had to sit down and be like, you know what?
Let's discuss.
We have to find a way. We would do things our way because, not a Nigerian way, not a South African, but the way that will work for both of us.
The kingdom way.
And
But
the way,
this is amazing. We are both Africans.
Yeah.
Different cultures.
Wow. Is that serious?
Oh, it's serious.
Oh, yeah. It's totally different.
Let me give you an example, right? When I talk with passion, most Nigerians are loud.
Excuse me. Not just talk. You do everything. This guy, sorry for
So I'm a very passionate person. So when I talk, my wife will say, "Why are you yelling?" I'm like, "I'm not yelling."
I had a big problem with that voice.
Why are you
being
yelling?
raised at
I'm
me.
not yelling. I just speak with passion. This is the way. So typically, I believe Nigerians, been tagged to be, we're very loud people, but we talk with passion. It's not because we're angry, we're just passionate.
Yeah. I wish my wife were here because sometimes she tells me, my friend tells me I yell. I say, I'm not yelling, I'm just talking. You're still yelling.
Yeah.
Now, let's quickly go to the area of parenting. When I came for was it 30th birthday you did?
40.
God forever young. So it was 40th birthday.
Yes, sir.
And I had the privilege of seeing your children. Oh my God. I feel like kidnapping them. I have 5 already. So what has your experience been parenting here in the US?
For me, I'll just say that just bringing them up in the way of the Lord. I know that sounds cheesy because, everybody says that, but I think that's the key because most places where I've gone, I've had people literally coming to me like, man, your kids are so well behaved. What are you doing? I'm like, no, I'm not doing anything. It's just that we instill, those values to them and how we were brought up, and we try to just practice even at home, both of us, for them to see, model, the right things to do, and they follow that. So I'm not saying, there are parents who model also and still the kids go, it's just the grace of God, and, trying to do your best as a parent to just raise them up in the way of the Lord. And also don't forsake the rod. So we don't pamper our kids when they are wrong. Yeah.
Sir, I want to believe the most important thing that we've done so well is to model Christ to them.
Amen.
Yeah. In fact, for me, growing up, I remember my father wake us up like 5 a.m. in the morning and ask us to pray. Everybody pray. We just go there. We don't pray.
Yeah.
They wake us up and say, pray, everybody, pray. And we don't pray. And for our children, I told myself, I'm not going to do that to my children. I will model to them the relationship between a man and God.
Yes.
And allow them to develop into what God is calling them to do. Because I believe very strongly, no one can come to God unless the Father draws him.
Fantastic.
And so I leave them. Now we don't even have to tell them, have you prayed? Did you pray on your food? No, they just do it by themselves. Yeah. You'll be in your bedroom and you hear your children praying at night before they sleep. And that brings joy to us because we've modeled that to them, and they are able to follow suit. You
guys are doing a great job, and we can see that.
Thank you, sir.
And but your time is limited. Once they enter college, they're gone.
Right.
They get the parents.
I don't even want to think about that right now.
You better begin to think about it now and get used to it.
I believe my daughter is like, yes, tell him.
We were just talking about how she wanted to go to college in
South Korea.
Because she likes Korean culture, so she wanted to go to Korea. But she was talking to us today, so it's like I'm changing my mind because there's a lot of pollution in Korea.
I would say, thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Jesus.
There's a lot of pollution in Korea. That's true.
Yeah.
Outside. When our children started going to college, we didn't want them to leave California. But thank God they got good admissions in good colleges here. Until the last baby said, Dad, I just have to go somewhere. Where? Boston, Massachusetts.
Wow.
I thought about the cold. I thought about the distance. For the sisters, we drive to their colleges on weekends to see them.
Yeah.
But I had to fly.
Right.
And she's the baby. She's the baby. And everything went out well. Which means something. God is always in charge.
Yes, sir.
Definitely.
Ultimately.
We are just caretakers.
Yes, sir.
And then that's it. That's it. If you have to give a one word of advice to young couples who are married out there, what would that word be? Both of you are going to give that one word. What would that one word be?
You want me to start?
You go ahead.
Don't be selfish. You'll have to kill the selfish, the I syndrome. Because I believe very strongly that is number one reason why people divorce. If you're going to get into a relationship, you must know that you're not getting into a relationship with yourself, with somebody. Right. You're getting in with somebody. So you cannot have I me syndrome. You have to kill that. Because that is a very serious reason why people divorce today. Oh, I don't have this, I don't have that. Me want this, me want that. All that kind of stuff can make you, go astray in relationship. You have to consider the person you are marrying, and of course, both of you come together with an understanding, and just know that you must kill selfish ambition.
I think that's a kingdom mentality.
Yes, sir.
It's kingdom mentality. Lihle, how about you? What advice do you have somebody?
I think forgiveness for me, because I think you cannot be married if you don't know how to forgive.
So you are forgiving these guys several times?
Oh, a million times. A million times.
And vice versa.
And vice versa. A million times.
Yeah, you cannot survive it if you're not a forgiving type. You have to be forgiving. You have to learn to let go. Some things, he always says, choose your battles. Some things are not worth fighting for. Some things you just have to overlook and just, say, God will take care of this. And some things you sit down and talk about. And some things will hurt you, but just forgive. Just choose to forgive.
Choose to
Yeah.
forgive.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just prepared my message for tomorrow, and the title God gave me says, "Your decisions determine your destiny."
Yes, sir.
That is the choices you make.
Yeah.
Ultimately,
Determines,
because God's destiny for us is clear, is stated. He made us champions. Before you were formed in your mother's womb, I knew you. This was supposed to do this, that, etc. More work than Christ did. We're supposed to do all. He has given us the empowerment.
Yes, sir.
When you come to this world, I begin to see different things. They begin to give you choices. Then those choices tend to derail us from God's purpose. That's why I'm so blessed with the way you guys have expressed today.
Thank you, sir.
No I in the team. Marriage is a team.
Yes.
Yeah.
No selfishness,
No selfishness.
but forgiveness.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Glory be to God. Now let's move on to ministry.
Yes, sir.
I call you Baba Kekere. I didn't mean any disrespect at all.
It's okay by me, sir.
Because a Baba is a Baba.
It's a Baba every day, anytime.
A Baba is a Baba.
Yes, sir.
How did you get your calling? How are you persuaded that this is my calling? This is what I'm going to be doing from my young age?
I wish I made that decision, but I did not.
Wow.
My father told me that when my mother conceived me, that they both made a covenant to God while I was in the womb that this must be a preacher.
Wow.
My father is a preacher.
Okay,
I'm PK. So my father, out of everybody in the family, I mean, they already had, like, before me, they had 3. They didn't make that covenant with those 3, but when it got to me, they had to make that covenant. And I was like, at least you should have waited for me to come, and then we can discuss it. So if I want to be a preacher or not.
But it's a blessing.
But it is
It's
indeed a blessing. So,
blessing.
so I started preaching at the age of 9.
Wow.
Yeah, I started preaching at the age of 9, and since then I've not looked back.
No wonder. You had this program which fascinates me a lot. You call it drive-through kind of worship.
Yes, sir.
And she gave a very powerful worship. And she was well controlled. She did not go beyond the reach of the microphone. But when you got the microphone, my God, and the passion came, it's like you are going to meet those guys.
My God.
So sometimes you go out and then the microphone will fade away. I say, somebody tie this man down. Tie him down. You haven't seen anything yet.
Man.
The best is about to explode in your life.
Amen.
Jesus.
Amen.
And I'm so happy to witness what's going on in your life.
Man, thank you, sir.
Lily, how did you get your own calling?
Well, for me, I got saved at 14.
Wow.
And then right away, I started just being involved in the church choir, of course, and I was singing. And there's what we call crusades in South Africa. We go put tents every summer. We go put tent crusades in different villages and different places.
Wow.
So the pastor where I was at that time will go with me and the rest of the team, and we stay there for maybe a month in a place, and then go to another place, stay for a month. So that's where everything just started developing with the ministry and everything. So yeah, it started at around 14, 15 for me.
Wow.
Yeah.
You're a worshiper. You're a worshiper. And I'm so blessed. Anytime I hear you worship, I say, oh my God, this is a powerful worshiper. My wife too is in that ministry of worshiping.
Yes.
And she's very good. She's very good. But I know that the way you worship can also teach. Do you teach sometimes?
Oh yeah. Definitely I do.
Still teaching.
Sometimes, yeah.
Still teaching at the church.
Is it teaching and preaching or both?
Both. I can say both.
Amen.
Yeah, I can say both.
Yeah.
So how are you able to synchronize your different giftings in the ministry? How are you able to blend them together? Because the product we see out there
Yes.
is so encouraging.
Thank you, sir.
That my heart blesses you all the time.
Thank you, sir.
How are you able to blend or cut this from.
I can't do that. I'm from Africa. I can't do that.
Really? But you said you are African, you are American, you married a South African.
So they all have a role to play in different places.
Yes.
I was going to ask.
I'm with the big baba now. I'm with the big baba now. So.
Big baba is So how are you able to synchronize those fantastic skills?
I think for us it's all about structure. Yeah, I believe the reason people do things anyhow is because there's no structure. And where there's no structure, people are going to have a lot of problem. So before we go out there, we already know what we're going to be doing. And so you have your role, because that's how we make a great team. You know, you play your role, you don't go there and play somebody else's role. Wow. Stay on your lane and let the other person do whatever is called to do at that time. You know, tomorrow the role might switch. But whenever you're called to do something, just go for it. So for us at home, we already have all the structure. This is what's going to happen. And we don't go there surprising one another.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
I love that.
So we follow structure. Okay, this is the structure. This is it.
Definition.
This is it. Yeah, responsibility. So we all, everybody's doing
But
it.
you are a smart guy, you know.
Thank you.
There was one time you were preaching and she was sitting there. And suddenly you turned the preaching and you faced her. And you began to toast her. I said, my God, what's this guy trying to do? You abandoned us, you began to toast her. You know, I came to one conclusion. I said, maybe he did something wrong and he's trying to apologize.
You know, with us, I think with us, we're always supportive of one another in everything that we're doing.
Yes.
So every time he preaches, I'm the first one to stand up.
She's my number one.
You pulled out to see that.
On Thursday, I was preaching on Thursday.
Yes.
She was still doing the
This
same
past
thing.
Thursday.
I said, sit down.
I saw that. I said, sit
Don't
down.
take me to another place. Sit down, baby.
Yeah, it's like, you know, even when we, maybe Sunday morning, you know, you're a preacher, you know, sometimes Sunday morning you're getting ready for church and a fight breaks out because you're trying to get ready for church and everybody's mad in the car.
Yeah.
And then you get to church, you have to start functioning. For me, what helped me is that I live that mindset of this is my husband. Once he gets to that place and he starts functioning as an anointed man of God, it switches. It don't matter how much anger I was having towards him at that time. I don't see him as, I mean, it might sound like cliche, like, oh, but that's the way I see it. Like, most of the time, most of our fights, once he gets on stage or I get on stage, I started worshiping, he starts preaching. The anointing breaks everything.
Breaks the yoke.
So at that time, I don't see him as just this man that made me angry. I just see God speaking and I just, you know, get blessed.
That's a blessing, you know, because some couple might take the anointing, might take the yoke to the people.
Oh, yeah.
And the people will notice.
Yes.
They will notice.
Yes.
But you are not like that.
Oh, no. I mean, I've experienced something like when a pastor and his wife, you know, fought at home. And the wife, when they got to church, she said she was going to tell everybody. So everyone has to start begging her, please don't do that. She was going to go get the microphone and mess the
I wouldn't beg her. Why? I mean, I guess. No one will do that.
Yes, sir.
But every home has challenges.
Of course.
Sir.
I could turn now to really inform the people that these people are honest.
Thank you, sir.
They're down to earth. It's only those who are not spiritually matured that may feel something.
Yes.
Somehow.
Yes.
A marriage. Thank God for marriage.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Thank
sir.
God for marriage. Hallelujah. Now, Lily.
Yes, sir.
I tell you this. Speaking as a man, there are times we men get on the nerves of our wives.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah? You allow me to finish. So when it gets on your nerves, how do you handle that?
You know, to be honest, I've grown from in the way that I handle that. The way I handled it like 10 years ago, 5 years ago is different from the way I'm handling it now. Because, you know, my husband is a strong-willed person. Like he said, he's passionate.
Hallelujah.
So, and I'm also that kind of like, girl power. You
Go
know,
for
you
it,
don't
yes,
talk to me
yeah.
like that. You know,
Passion's
it's kind
also-
of, you know, stuff like that. So when at the beginning it was like, okay, he's here. I also like, you don't do
All
that,
right.
and you know, it was just fire. But as the time went by, and I started learning him, and I started, you know, also praying that God help me with how to handle this. You know, right now, if it gets on my nerves, I try to just let him do his thing and keep quiet.
Hallelujah.
You know,
Glory to God.
You don't.
not all the time. Sometimes it, you know, of course,
Sometimes.
You're human.
sometimes I'll get on it too,
And you
and we're
butt
mad
heads
at each
together.
other. Yeah. But what I learned is that when he's there and I just calm down, it helps.
Yeah.
So that's what I've been doing right now. I'm trying my best to do right
Because
now.
we
Yeah.
teach that two people should not be mad together at the same time.
Yes. Yes. So that has helped a lot. And then afterwards, I can just let him know that, you know what, I didn't like the
So
way.
it's getting your nerves now becomes reduced because of your reaction, right?
Yeah.
Or it's still passionate about getting your nerves.
Well, you know, when you keep quiet, it says, you know, there's keeping quiet, and that says something. I mean, you're keeping quiet and you're saying something while you are quiet. So when I'm quiet like that, he knows that, okay, let me just. I see this woman is.
But not all the time. I don't get on the nerve all the time. Not all
Yeah.
the time. Once in a while, maybe once in every 2
No,
weeks.
the thing is that you said that you are passionate about everything.
I am.
Including getting on somebody's nerves.
I am very passionate. that I don't know if I believe that the Lord, you know, as it were, needs to help all the men, you know, when it comes to how to balance our relationship with our wives. Because I believe women will love anything that is under us. We love them. Anything that is beneath or above us, we respect. But anything that want to stand on the same level with us, we clash with, we fight. And because of that understanding, it will take the Holy Spirit to have the mind not to, you know, always fight when you clash with people, you know, because men don't like confrontation, you know.
Say that again. That's a sermon.
Yeah, men don't like confrontation.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, and the way you come to the man matters a lot. You know, if you don't come the right way, it feels like you're challenging, you know, his position and all that stuff.
As a priest in the family.
Exactly. So his disposition also changes. And because of that, it's very important. I tell all the women that comes my way, when you want to talk to your husband, advise your husband, do it in a way that you don't rubbish his ego, you know, in a suggestive way, you know, that you don't make him feel less of a man, you know, when you communicate to him. And then, of course, the man also you have to love, because wherever there is love, there will always be respect.
I know you preach eventually. You're preaching already. And I love the preaching. Come on now.
Thank you, sir.
Now, to you,
Yes, sir.
women sometimes also, oh my God, when they get on your case,
Yes.
it's not funny.
Yes, sir.
So when she gets on your case, how do you respond?
Holy Ghost. Holy Ghost. Holy Ghost, help your son. Holy Ghost. Help me not to lose it.
Help me not to lose it.
Yes.
Wow.
And sometimes I just walk away. Just walk away from the scene, because I know her. You know, it don't take long for her to come down, you know.
Oh, I see.
Yeah,
Okay.
so I just walk away. And when I walk away and we come back, you know.
How about when she want to insist to advise you as a mother?
Oh yeah, I mean we've had series of that, you know, and I'll let her know, babe, you need to calm down now. I'm not your children, you know, I'm your husband. You know, advise me, baby, this is what is going on, this is what I think, you know, and all that stuff, you know. Presentation is everything. And I think we've gotten to a place to master that now, that when we present things to one another, you know, the other person is able to receive it, whether it's coming from me or it's coming from her. And I've told her, I said, I've told my wife over and over again, and we've gotten to that place that when you advise somebody and they don't take it at that particular time, you should give them time to process. You know, women, you talk to a man, you want him to understand and agree
Right
with you
away.
at that time. That's why there's problem.
Yeah, because it's the nature of man. A man will not talk
Yes.
when he has nothing to say.
Yes, sir.
When a man is still considering a matter, he's not going to say anything.
Yes.
And if you talk now, that's the problem. Put under pressure by your silence. Yes. It's not by design.
Yes. Yes, sir.
It's not deliberate. It's the way a man is made.
Yes, it is by default.
I think because women, we are just motherly. It's just it's the nature that God gave us. We always like to mother, so it's good to learn not to let go of that. And the way I grew up too, like I'm one person that is very responsible. Out of 5 kids, until today, my big brothers, I take care of them.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I had that kind of.
So you are used to taking care of
the nurture kind of.
Take care
So
of me.
you know, you wind up trying to do that at the home. So you just have to know what the boundaries.
But Daddy, we're getting better.
Yeah.
Everybody has to.
We're getting better.
Yeah.
We're getting better, man.
You have no choice. Because if you say you apply the rod to those ones,
Yes.
and she comes to report you to me,
Yes. Oh, man. I won't allow it get to that point.
glory be to God.
Amen.
Yes, sir.
Now, I did a teaching on communication between husband and wife.
Yes.
And I'd always wondered why women can be so verbose, can speak without shutting up, without stopping, without break, without comma, without anything. Saw something that amazed me.
Yes, sir.
That the brain of the woman talks to each other from left to right.
Wow.
It communicates continuously.
Wow.
So while this one is getting tired, this one is speaking up.
Wow.
While this one is getting rested, that one is speaking up. That's how they're able to do it.
Wow.
I was saying that thing to you. I was so blessed. Whereas a man's brain is not like that.
Yeah.
So if we study each other very well,
Yes, sir.
there'll be clearer understanding at all times.
Yeah.
At all times. Let's talk about fashion.
Fashion.
Okay, it's a good one.
So what's your take? What's your take? Let me make a confession to you.
Yes, sir.
I said, what do I wear now to match up with?
Oh no, we came in simple today.
So I wore a t-shirt, and I said, okay, that's all right. But again, I said, if I wear a t-shirt and it comes up with a jacket, what am I going to do? So tell me, what's your taste in fashion? How do you blend?
As much as, I'm talking as a Christian, as much as fashion is good, I still believe that we should not be influenced by the word.
Amen.
Yeah,
Amen.
Fashion is great, that we should have boundaries, that we should set as Christians. We cannot be behaving as though we don't know God in the way we dress. For instance, now a lot of women, go to church, and they don't mind, leaving their, cleavage out.
Yeah.
I have a problem with it as a person. Yeah, a lot of people call me funky pastor, but I have a problem with that. They wouldn't think maybe I have problems with something like that, but I do have a problem with that. I believe that certain things need to be moderate, the way we dress, the way we talk, the way we approach things. We should not be influenced by the word. We are supposed to be the influencer. So we're supposed to influence the word. So fashion is great when it is done within the confines of the kingdom.
Yeah, when it is done to glorify Him.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
You created everything.
Yes, sir.
Lily.
Well, he already touched on that. So for me, I would just say it's good. It's good to look good. As a woman, it's good to look good.
As a man too.
And I'm talking on the woman's perspective right now. Of course, it's good to look good for everybody, but now I'm talking as a woman. It just because you're a child of God, born again, tongue speaking, spirit filled, don't mean that you should not be attractive, and you should not, look palatable, that when you come out after you dressed, your husband look at you and be like, ooh, that's my girl. So you should still, keep yourself up to date with what's going on out there and look good.
I believe you believe with me that back in the days when women wear trousers, it's like you're going to hell. You go to
this.
back. Yeah. You go to hell.
Now what happened? They don't go to hell any longer?
No. I mean,
Where do they go to?
It was some wrong teachings, wrong doctrines,
You know what?
Yes, sir.
We had a discussion here, one of these episodes, and the young people told us that our generation did not hand over to them
Yes.
what we received.
Wow, that's powerful.
That's very powerful. And it was because we could not interpret what we know
Wow.
in a way we couldn't communicate it to them in a way they will understand.
They will understand.
Everybody
Yes.
keep on preaching prosperity. If you do this, that. Some have been selling handkerchiefs and things like that.
Yeah.
And you look at all those things, you begin to wonder, is it really the fault of these young people?
Yes.
Because the Bible says, if the foundation were destroyed,
What can the righteous do?
what can the righteous do?
Yeah.
There's something fascinating about your ministry. You seem to appeal to a lot of young people, and your congregation is mixed. You are the only Nigerian pastor, although you say you are the Nigerian pastor.
Oh, well, we're born in Nigeria.
But Nigeria, roasted in South Africa. Whoever is roasted in South Africa has to be really roasted.
Roasted in South Africa.
Amen.
Yes.
So,
yes, sir.
how do you come with these excellent visions that you... Well, I remember that when this COVID thing started,
Yes, sir.
your church was the first one
Yes, sir.
that I know.
Yes, sir.
That said, okay, let's do this drive-through
Yes,
kind
sir.
of thing. I didn't even know the way it would work.
Yes, sir.
When I said drive-through, I said, okay, I started thinking about McDonald's, or you drive, you pick, and you go.
Yes, sir.
And I keyed into it, and I saw, everybody, their cars parked, and people were shouting and screaming and joyful. I said, it can only be promised. And it starts adventurous.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So
Yes.
I'm sure there's a lot more from where that comes from.
Yes.
Talk to me, man.
First, I want to talk about, pastoring, a multicultural church.
That's important.
I believe before we started the ministry, myself and my wife, we spoke about the kind of church we wanted to build. Put the structure in place, be intentional about the things we do and how we do them. So we told ourselves that we are not doing this ministry for Africans in diaspora alone. We want to reach out to everybody. And that will, if we are going to do that, that means our language has to change, the way we dress has to change.
Yeah.
And what the kind of songs we sing has to change.
Yeah.
If you see in my church, there's no way you will see anybody wearing gele. It's not possible. It's not going to happen. Because now you don't want to wait and intimidate people who don't even understand what's going on. You have one person who have gele here and is going all over this place, and the person sitting next to can't feel comfortable. It's not good. My leaders will never do it. If you ever saw anything like that, it means that person came to church for the first time, does not understand the culture. We have a culture that we've developed.
So you define a culture.
We define a culture, and everybody that is in the leadership follow that culture. And then when they follow the culture, they translate the culture to everybody.
That communicates.
Yeah, so our songs, the songs we sing on Sunday communicate the culture. Our announcement, the people taking the microphone, the people talking, they deplete the culture. And that being said, the result is what we see because of the behind.
So somebody I was listening to one of your messages, and it was a video.
Yes, sir.
But the person wasn't watching the video with me.
Yes, sir.
He was just listening to it. He said, one of these American preachers? I said, yeah, he is. Because I don't know where he got his accent from. Tell me, how did you get your accent?
That's what I'm talking about. You see, the same thing I'm talking about, culture, creating a culture. I can easily just come out and say, God bless you, everybody, the Lord be with you, my people, come on. I can easily do that. But then if I go that route, I'll be missing out some people. Some people will not be able to understand. So I'm intentional when I go on the pulpit. When I'm with people, I'm intentional. The way I talk, I have to adapt. It's like you get into a new company, you have to adapt to the system of that company. So the problem I notice with a lot of people is that they don't want to adapt, they don't want to change, but they want things to change.
Doing the same thing.
They don't want, it takes discipline.
Expecting
Yes,
different
sir.
results.
Yes, sir.
It takes discipline to change.
Yes, sir.
You just have to, like a management you said, want to change something, you first freeze. Stop what you have been doing before.
Right.
Then train.
Yeah.
After training, then you are freeze. You release to begin to do the things you're doing.
Yeah.
Well, we have just about 5 more minutes, and then I'm still going to ask one or two personal questions, and we go from there.
Yes, sir.
What do you like best about this woman that you brought, that the Lord gave you?
Okay.
I love a lot of
Can't wait
stuff.
to hear that.
A lot of stuff.
Yeah, I love a lot of stuff about her. I love the fact that she loves me. That's the honest,
Remember,
that's
your
the first
first
one.
one was no selfish, no I.
Because I love her, so the I syndrome is not there.
Okay.
So I love the fact that she loves me. I love the fact that she loves God.
Amen.
Yeah, that was what attracted her to me in the first place. The fact that she loves God, we have the same understanding about the kingdom. That was good enough for me. I love her nose. You know, she's got this pointed nose. You know, like my own is like the big. Yeah, I love that she's pretty too.
Amen.
Praise God. Hallelujah.
And
I'm blushing.
I'm not sure brown people and black people agree to those. So what do you like about this passionate about everything person?
So many things too, like there's a lot, but just to caption a few, what attracted me to him was my husband has a good heart. He has a heart of gold. Like he can give anything to anybody. When I met him, I was a struggling student in the city where we met in South Africa, and he was also a struggling pastor at that time, you know. So we both formed this friendship, and from him not expecting anything from me in return, he was going all out to help me out as a student, and struggling in the city where my family was not there. Sometimes he will just buy food, or maybe even when he gets food, he will be sharing with me.
Wow.
And stuff like that. So that good heart attracted me to him. So until today, that good heart is just something. He goes all out to.
He still buys food for you.
Oh, he takes care of my family. He takes care of my mom.
Yes,
even my
I think
siblings.
that testimony was shared on your birthday, which was very impressive.
Yeah, he goes all out to take care of them. And my mom always says this, that if you had married a South African man, they would never do this. So so my mom loves him a lot because of that. He just goes all out.
I know he has a large heart.
Yeah.
Because just recently, when this COVID, what do you call it, that thing, that, I've forgotten what you call it, to help churches.
Yes, the SBN and PPP loan.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
We were not paying attention to it.
Yeah.
But the husband called me and said, Daddy, you just have to do this. He called me following day, I said, all right, now let's begin to pay attention to it. We have not concluded it, but
Yeah.
we'll talk about it more.
Yes, sir.
By the grace of God.
Yes, sir.
Now we have about 3-4 minutes, and how do you see the church at this time that we are in? Because my perspective is that this COVID-19 syndrome
Yes, sir.
is a wake-up call
Yes.
from God to His church.
Yes.
But we don't seem to be in control any longer.
Yes, sir.
It's like we are being controlled. But what do you think is going on? Please talk to us.
I think, first, I want to believe that it's not, okay, let me put it this way. Some people, they have formulas, they use for church and all that stuff. That stuff is not going to work in this season. Everyone, God has to give you what you're supposed to do for your house.
Amen.
I believe that very strongly, that for every house, there is a design program that everybody needs to follow. And you cannot know that if you don't know the mind of God for yourself and for your church. So you have to put your ears at the heartbeat of God to hear that. That's one. Number two, we cannot do church the same way we used to do it.
Never
It's
again.
different. Everything has changed.
Yeah.
Now, before we used to wait for people to come to church, we have to take the church to the people now.
Yep.
Yeah, we have to take the church to the people. And after this COVID-19 is over, the churches that are not involving,
Involving
they will
changing.
they will close, they will shut down, sir.
Yeah, because I believe that the world is coming to an end.
Yes, sir.
As somebody said, when I told somebody, he said, because you were pushing 70.
So that's why you wonder what you do.
My God, whether we like it or not, the world is shutting down.
Yes, sir.
Little by little. And, well, viewers, that's a promise. And Lihle, I want you to give our viewers the last parting word,
Well, for me, I would just say be strong in the Lord. In these uncertain times we're facing, just calls for that. Just be strong. Draw near to Him. Seek Him while He's to be found. And do your best to stay faithful. And God will do the rest. And I pray that God will preserve all of you. And that at the end of the day, when all this craziness is over, you will still be counted and none of you will be missing and none of you will be buried.
Amen.
In Jesus' name.
Amen.
Amen.
Thank you so much, Lihle. Promise.
I think it's imperative for everybody to know the mind of God in this season. That you do not allow what you see, what you hear to control how you should react. It's imperative now that you listen to God more for yourself. You will get to a point in your life that you have to learn God for yourself. You have to hear God for yourself. Thank God for your pastors. Thank God for the preachers. But this is the season for you to hear God for yourself. And don't allow anybody talk you out of your expectation. The Bible says, for the expectation of the righteous shall not be cut off. Remember always that the past is always in the tomb. The future is in the womb. You carry a destiny that no man can abort. Keep on pushing.
Amen.
Thank you so much. You got to do me a favor. I love these children. I want them to come. Come. Yes, come. Come.
Come on, doctor. Just
Wonderful
say hi.
children. They are so blessed. Amen. One looks like the mom, one looks like dad.
Yeah.
Yes, God,
Wow.
God was so faithful.
Lihle, God bless you really good. Please, my main man. Come on now.
Welcome this side.
Sit over there.
Yeah, this wonderful family. Like I told you earlier on, I said we have two like this. I can't pray for two more.
It's not gonna happen.
Don't wave your hand like that because God's purpose is never a man's purpose.
Daddy, I have spoken to my ministering angels. Don't bring this message to me.
What's your name?
My name is Charisma.
Karish, powerful. You like that man that is by you?
Yes, he's the best.
What do you have to say about him?
He's very inspiring.
Inspiring.
Yeah, and his faith level is very encouraging, and the way that he's taught us to love Christ has brought a very big change into my life.
How old are you?
I'm 12.
Wow. You will rule over this nation.
In the name of Jesus.
Yes. My son, what have you got to say about your mom?
My mom is a very spiritual lady, and she is a very good person in Christ, and always prays and loves the Lord.
Amen. Well, viewers, you've seen an example of what we are praying for. That every home, every family should be fashioned after our Lord Jesus Christ. Amen. I pray that what you have seen today, what you have heard today, will heal your home.
Amen.
We also make things of God to happen in your home at all times.
Amen.
Anybody with Jesus. Please stay tuned. Like we always say, yeah, you can see us on YouTube, on Facebook, and we're also on Instagram. And finally, we have a website, theopenpulpit.org. God bless you for your time. See you some other time. Bye.